Do you think becoming a Christian has changed your relationship and attitude towards sex?
100%.
Yeah, how so? What was it before? And then
Well, I was brought up in a Christian home, but I wasn't following it. Like,
Sure.
I just thought, I just wanted to do my own thing, to be honest. And so, yeah, so I went to uni. I did what everyone else was doing. Got into a relationship. Yeah. You know, you're free. You've got no one there to tell you what to do or what not to do. So I got in a relationship. That's when I got pregnant at university. Yeah. And it was a wake-up call. And I realised, you know, just getting pregnant, I realised having my child, I was like, wow, just because of the messiness of the situation, like, you know, we were both young, he you know, we weren't going to be together. That realisation, wow, you know, this is hard. I don't think this is the way it's supposed to be.
I hear that.
Don't get me wrong, I'm so happy I've got my daughter. I wouldn't change anything. Yeah,
of course.
But, you know, I think a child ultimately needs, and she has a father in her life, but ideally, the ideal situation is for parents to be together and living in the home and raised, in my opinion, and in the Bible, that's what I believe as well. Sure. In terms of, you said my faith impacted, I just believe that we have a creator, a God who's created us, and he knows what's best for us. He designed sex, he designed marriage, he designed relationships, and so we can look into the word of God, into the Bible, and it gives us outlines, it gives us guidance, it gives us his order right from the beginning. It talks about you know, a man shall leave his parents and become one with his wife. You know, they'll become one flesh. So that's what, you know, sex is. You literally two become one. So where we've perverted that and just allowed each, like, becoming one with multiple people, it's not just a physical act, it's a spiritual act, it's an emotional act. And we've, as a society, and it's happened in societies throughout the ages, right? It's nothing new, but we have perverted, and I think we've taken away the sacredness and the importance of sex and made it into a hobby or a pastime. And that's why I think it no longer has the gluing to people as one. Because you're walking around like, and you're one to so many people, and it's not healthy. And that's why I think, especially, well, I can only speak for women, there's a lot of emotional stuff after sex because they've become one, and now that's ripped up. And now they'll bounce to the next to kind of cover that pain. And I just think I just think it's all backwards. And that's why there's so much issues in society. And so it's totally changed. So I'm celibate now, and I'm not married, but I'd love to be married one day, and I'm waiting till I'm married.
I hear that. I hear that. So I completely hear everything you just said. I'm going to challenge your position a little bit.
Please, yeah.
So what would you say to... let's say, because obviously not everyone's a follower of Christ,
of course,
right? So for some people, sex is an experience they want to share with people, and their standard for that can be different. So it, you know, for some people might be, I only want to have sex with someone who I'm in a relationship with. I'm only going to have sex with someone who I'm dating seriously. For some people, I'm only going to have sex with someone who I'm attracted to, and that's that. What would you say to them people, and this applies for men and women, where they say, oh, well, they want to explore themselves sexually, right? Especially if they're younger. So they get to know themselves, they get to know what they like, and the kind of partner that they want in the physical intimacy realm. Because I guess kind of what you're saying, that wouldn't really allow people to do that. So what would you say to that?
Well, when you say allow, it's like, at the end of the day, if those people want to live like that, that's up to them. Like, or if you choose to follow Christ, then you follow Christ, right? If you choose to be a Christian, or if you choose to be a Muslim, do you know what I mean? You follow you're choosing to follow the teachings of that religion. And so, I mean, there's a certain element of people who might say they're Christians, but they're not living according to the Bible.
True.
And again, that's up to them. And I believe you can, you know, I think there are consequences.
What do you think?
If you don't follow the maker's instructions, there's going to be consequences.
Yeah.
Right. So I've got consequences in that I'm raising my child alone, and I've got the challenges. I have to always stress that, because I wouldn't change anything in terms of having her, and she's my pride and joy. But there's challenges, that her father's not in the home. And I know you can say, okay, what if there's no kids and people... And that's one thing that we've done as society, is we've separated babies from sex. It's like people spend their whole teens and 20s trying not to, contraception, trying not to have sex, trying not to having sex but not having babies. Yeah. And then later on in life, they when they've decided they want to settle down, not always, but sometimes they're struggling. And now they have to... So, again, I just feel if you don't follow the maker's instructions, there's going to be consequences. That's all I'll say, really. Again, to the people who want to, experiment or try different... I think they'll continue, as I said earlier, down that line. Because I think as soon as you open up, and that's why I will always encourage young people to keep pure, and to stay.
For men and women?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I hear that.
I would encourage it. Whether you're a Christian or not, because I just think it's the healthiest way to live. Yeah. And I think that whole thing of try before you buy or experiment, I just think that the way it's created to bond two people as one. If you've got two virgins coming together, then they're going to learn together. They're going to, do you know what I mean? They're going to more like to stay together. Of course, people will have, maybe have had sex and stuff. There's always change. There's always chance to change your ways and stuff. Yeah. But in terms of going into it, to young people who are watching, I would just say,
be mindful.
Yeah.
I hear that. I don't think that's wrong to say to be mindful for 100%. And I do agree and see the benefits of living a certain way, depending on what life goals you want.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly. What thing is, you said about how children has been separated from sex, or babies have been separated from sex. But I think it's been that way for a long time. And even
when you say a long time, what do you mean? As long as you lived, or
no? I mean
centuries.
I mean at least several centuries. I think for the past. I would definitely think that for the past several centuries of human existence, the reason sex has happened for most people, and this is even within relationships, was not to have a child. Even if you have a married couple, they have 3 kids. They have sex because they want to share the intimacy together. Yeah, not because they're trying to have a child.
I'm not denying that, sex is intimacy, it is fun. I'm not denying all that stuff. But what I'm saying is we've gone to the extreme where it's my right to have sex, all the sex I want.
Isn't it?
And then if a baby comes into the picture, then I can just get rid of it.
I see. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So it's or people, even the language you use, I fell pregnant. You didn't fall pregnant. Do you know what I mean? It's like you were walking along one day and you fell over and you fell pregnant. Yeah. No. Yeah. You engage in activity that biologically can produce a baby. Yeah. No, so do you know what I mean? It's like, it was an accident. It was an accident. My child was an accident. I didn't plan her because I was in the mentality of I wasn't in the same space I'm in now. But just at the society and the language... I just think, and when you've got a place where these babies are literally getting killed for their parents to be able to do what they want and live how they want and have as much sex as they want with as many people, and they haven't even thought, if I engage with sex with this person, potentially I could have a child. People aren't even thinking that anymore.
Most people
don't. A lot. I'm not saying everyone.
No, it's true.
But a lot of people aren't even thinking that because they feel they've got so many ways out.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are so many forms of contraception nowadays. So I guess, there's over 20 or 30 forms of contraception. So yeah, I guess, people aren't thinking about, this could result in a pregnancy. Well, yeah, not as much. Because there's so many things to avoid it.
And I think that's where we're very feelings culture. So we just do what we want, how we feel in the moment. Yes. And it's not really... there's not so much kind of thoughtfulness about just going into relationships and
yeah, I hear that.